Welcome back, Gemini. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Today we're going to do your July 2021 How They Feel About You Love Tarot reading. Gemini, you've had a lot going on in the astrology. You just went through major eclipses in your sign and in your opposite sign of Gemini, in your 7th house of one-on-one relationships and partnerships. And when the eclipses happen in your sign, it has a lot to do with your identity, your purpose, your body, and your presentation out in the world. Something is changing over the next 6 months where your identity is going to change. Partnerships could potentially be changing. Things come up in partnerships that require your review. They're not easy eclipses to go through when it's happening in your sign. And then on top of it, you had that Mercury retrograde happening in your sign. That's your ruling planet. And that was going through its retrograde phase from late May up until July 7th. Mercury is finally out of its shadow phase, which means things could be coming to light now. You might get some mental clarity. You might have a new direction or a purpose, and you see things in a different light. So that's really good for you overall. Mercury's finally moving past a really difficult square over to Neptune, sitting in your 10th house of careers, authority, your achievement. It also deals with responsibility and discipline. So it could have been some reality checks in communication. And it also points to clarity with some disillusionment, perhaps with authority figures or something in the workplace. So that's good for you overall. You could have just been feeling really confused, hazy about it, like life direction, career purpose. Any of those themes could have come up for you over the last couple of months. We also went through a series of T-squares. Mars and Venus are sitting in Leo, and that is your 3rd house of communication, local communities, siblings, short distance travel, communication, channels, technology. Those are the general themes that could come up for you. So when Venus is over there, maybe you're looking to do some purchases, perhaps with new communication. It could be audio, but it's also taking action in the local community of some type. So when the lovers come together in that 3rd house, I would say if you're looking for love, look around town. There's something there that could be really beneficial for you. Perhaps, with the 4th of July weekend, just last weekend, maybe you met someone during that time. It's a time when people start getting together. Maybe it's just a time to go out with friends. If you're seeing a sibling or doing things with family, perhaps there's a love connection connected to a sibling somehow. That's where it's located. So it has a lot to do with communication overall and channels. So, even if you're going online, it's a good time to do it for you, Gemini, because the lovers are sitting in that 3rd house. Now, the lovers were making a T-square over to Stern Saturn, over in your 9th house of ideals, beliefs, gurus, mentors, higher education, and adventure. And then Uranus is right in the middle of this opposition. It's right in the midpoint, and that's sitting in your 12th house. And that can be pretty challenging. Uranus is this rebellious, liberating, freedom, change agent planet. And the 12th is a hidden house. It's about the subconscious, confinement, isolation, introspection. It's also a house of self-undoing. So when you mix the 3, you have the 9th, the 12th, and the 3rd. It has a lot to do with mental processes. It has a lot to do with how you see yourself, your personal beliefs, and things bubbling up from the surface that you have to take care of. And Venus and Mars are the trigger point. So it has something to do with communication. So perhaps things came in that you really did not expect and that you had to deal with that kind of challenged you about what it is you believe in. That was perfecting over the last week and a half. And that Mars-Saturn energy could have pointed to a battle of wills because Mars and Venus are sitting in Leo. So there's some egotistical shadow side to Leo. So it could have been a battle of wills, could have been some emotional confrontations. When Venus and Saturn are in opposition to each other, it can be a reality check in love. It points to things that we don't want, boundaries, value. Remember, Saturn is the farthest out planet that we can see with the naked eye. So it's the boundary. It's the dweller at the threshold between what it is we see and what it is we don't see. So it has a lot to do with boundaries. And what are your boundaries in love? What are your boundaries in communication? What are your boundaries with personal beliefs and ideals? Those will all be tested during that T-square time. Now, the good news is that the divine lovers, Mars and Venus, come together in a conjunction. Only happens once every 2 years, and it's going to be in the sign of Leo right around July 12th, 13th, and 14th. So it's a good time if things have been difficult in love, in your relationships, even if you're single and you're feeling isolated a little bit, to get out there in your local community, because that's where love can be found for you, because right now they're sitting in your third house of local communities. So I would say, if there's any local festivities going on, it's a good time to get out and do it. Get online. If you're single, if you're partnered up, I say go out toward water, because we're in Cancer season. That's where the sun is sitting. Cancer is a water sign. Cancer is a very healing, nesting, self-protective sign. It wants comfort and security. So water is a good place to go for a picnic, lake, pool, whatever it is. Go spend some time with your loved one around water, because there's some good things that could come for that. So that's what's happening in the general sky right now. Those T-scores could have been really challenging. Personal story with me, I'm a Cancer rising. So Venus and Mars are sitting in my second house of assets, possessions, and Saturn is sitting in my 8th house of insurance. I got into a car accident right as Venus and Saturn were perfecting the opposition. It was a little fender bender, a little bit of damage to my bumper. I'm gonna have to get that fixed, but you can see how this plays out. It wasn't happening in any of my relationship houses, but it was happening in my resource houses. So, I took my eyes off the road. This was right when Mercury and Neptune were meeting for the square for the third and final time. Mercury was in my 12th house, not paying attention. It's a hidden house, like I just mentioned. Neptune creates fogginess, haziness. I got distracted and I rear-ended someone. So I'm okay. Car's fine. But you can see how this plays out for everyone a little bit differently. And tarot card readers and astrologers are no exception to that rule. So here we are. You got to deal with that type of energy. You get grabbed by the planets. So like I said, it has something to do with your personal beliefs and ideals, communication, perhaps even siblings. Maybe siblings are challenging you right now, sibling rivalry of some type, but it also has to deal with the subconscious, things unseen, things bubbling up from the surface, introspection. So those themes are going to come up for you overall, Gemini. I'm thirsty. I got to get a drink here. Okay. So let's do your tarot reading. This is how you feel. This is how they feel about you. So we're going to get some insight into your love interests. Doesn't matter if you're single, looking, dating, married, partnered. Sometimes it's nice to get some additional introspection into what it is they're thinking. So I'm going to pull 6 cards from the tarot today, 1 card from the angels for your advice. This is a general reading. These messages won't resonate with all of you. Take a look at your sun, Venus, and moon sign. Sometimes those will resonate more with you. I say take a look at your rising sign first. And how you do that is you need to know your birth time. And I say go to astroseek.com. And it will calculate your birth chart for you and it'll tell you what your ascendant is. But you need to know an accurate birth time in order to know your ascendant. Because the ascendant's really where it all starts. So your sun sign is important too, don't get me wrong, you can use that, but the ascendant's really what's going to give you a really accurate read. If you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's very much appreciated for me, and you get to see more of me. If you'd like a personal reading, my email is in the description box below. Send me an email and we'll set up a personal time to chat. Let's see what's going on with you, Gemini. Not a ton happening in your love houses right now. More about ideals, communication, travel, technology, potentially siblings. That 12th house, though, where Uranus is sitting, in Vedic astrology is known as a house of intimacy and sex. So when Uranus is in there, it's kind of unstable energy. It shakes things up. So some people, this won't be for all of you, could be reviewing sexual identity. What it is you identify with on an intimate level, perhaps. So just a little FYI on that. Well, let's see what's going on with you, Gemini. This is for Gemini. First card out is going to be the general energies of your love interest. Nine of Cups. So, this is someone that's feeling pretty good overall. Cups are emotion. They are feeling abundant in emotion. It's also a card of wish fulfillment. The 9 is a great card overall. His cups are up, right? He's got a lot to offer. So this could be a really good potential for a partnership, even if you're married. Maybe things are going good. So this is great. This is a great start. This is the general energy of your interest. Okay, next card out is going to be their general attributes. The Hierophant. You could be dealing with a Taurus. This is a Taurus card. But this also has to do with beliefs. And this has to do with ideals, commitment, potentially marriage too. So perhaps some of your love interests here are looking to take something to the next level. Perhaps they're trying to determine whether you guys are on the same page. Do you have similar values in relationships? Do you have similar beliefs of what it is you want in a relationship? I think this is overall a great card. They're looking at something pretty seriously here for their attributes. These are the flaws. This is something that you kind of need to know about, right? This card has been coming up a lot. We have the 9 of Swords. So they're definitely trying to figure something out here. There could be a little bit of stress, a little bit of anxiety. Maybe, Gemini, sometimes you are the messenger planet. You move fast. You don't sit around and wait. So there might be a little bit stressed out about thinking whether or not you want a commitment with them. So this is definitely something that you're going to want to take into consideration, because this could be stressing them out. Could be a little bit of obsession with this card too. So they're probably wondering whether, what do you think about them? They want to hear it from you. Is this something that's long-term for them? So we'll see. We'll continue to pull cards, but right now there might be a little bit of mental anxiety happening here. Next card out is how they feel about you, what it is they're thinking. Unsure. Like I said, this kind of goes with this 9 of Swords. Here's the 2 of Pentacles. They're balancing. They're trying to figure out what to do next. Is this going to be a long-term thing? Do you like them? If you're partnered up and married, you guys need to figure out something with your relationship here. You'll see the infinity symbol here. There's a little bit of karma that might need to be worked out here. You might need to break a karmic cycle of some type. If there is some toxic patterns happening at all, but they're juggling something. It could be juggling you at work, could be juggling, you and someone else. If you're still single, if they're still single, they're trying to make a decision. 2s usually have to deal with decisions of some type. Doesn't necessarily mean they're seeing someone else. It could be, but here I think they're just trying to determine whether or not they want to take this to that next level. The next card out is the potential for a happy, healthy relationship. So 7 of Cups, this is confusion. This is, again, weighing options. Trying to figure out what to do here. So some of these options aren't necessarily so good. This one has a snake in it. Here's some crazy looking mushroom thing. That's a dragon. Here's a wreath. So some of the options are good. They're trying to weigh this out. They're a little bit confused right now. And I think maybe you could help them out by having a conversation about how it is you feel. Because they're stressed out. They're like trying to figure this out. They're going round and around. There's a little bit of OCD connected to this, and they're wondering whether or not there's a potential for a commitment. If you're partnered up, again, there's confusion in your relationship that needs some sorting out here. Some of you might just be reviewing your commitment to the relationship, whether or not this is something that you want. And you're juggling, you're going back and forth, not really sure. There's a lot of uncertainty in these cards. Next card out is the Outcome. Well, this is pretty good. So I think there is the potential here. The Sun is one of the best cards in the deck. I think there is a potential for a relationship, but I think you guys need to just have a conversation to it's either a rebalancing of finances, it's a rebalancing of emotion, it's thinking that there's options out there, reviewing commitment, reviewing your beliefs, making sure you're on the same page. There's also, some of you, this is children too. There's an element of children with this. It's the child on the horse. The Lovers are in Leo. This is a Leo card. The Sun rules Leo. So it's looking at your communication. And I think there just needs to be communication if there hasn't been any. I think you just need to open up the heart chakras here and speak your truth and talk about your feelings. Gemini, you tend to be more mental. You're smart, you're very intelligent, you're very witty, but it's time to, I think I had actually talked about this last time, it's time to tap into what's going on in here. And I think if you do, you'd realize that you guys, you're on the same page. You probably want the same things. But don't string them along. Don't, keep them guessing and waiting, because they're thinking that they're going to have to look elsewhere, and they're juggling, and it's stressing them out. Sun card is good overall for an outcome, though. Let's pull an angel card for the advice. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Yeah, I feel like this whole reading is about you're not sure what to do next. Mercury retrograde in your home sign can really point to some mental tension about what to do, and it's in your home sign. So it's kind of like you're trying to figure out what it is you want to do with yourself. So maybe you're trying to figure out what to do with you first before you can make a commitment or think about bringing out someone else into your life. But don't string these people along, because I think that could potentially backfire on you. But you need to make a decision very soon. Mercury's out of shadow now. Clarity is going to come. If you're looking for signs overall, get near some water, because that's where clarity is going to come through. That's where some healing energy can be found overall, Gemini. Overall, I think this is a good reading. You're just balancing some things out. Got those eclipses happening in your sign in that 7th house. So it's a decision about what type of relationships do you want. And, this has a lot to do with, personal beliefs with commitments and value and figuring out what it is you truly want. Definitely some mental tension, definitely some choices. I think you need some mental clarity, and you can get some mental clarity through being near water. But you need to make it, you can't wait on this too soon. Otherwise, people are going to start fleeing. So overall, really good reading. Gemini, I think you just need to really think about what it is you want and communicate that. People need to know. All right, I'm going to be back doing readings again next week. I hope you're all doing well. Until next time, drop me a line. Let me know how this is resonating with you, and take care. See you.